Hey guys, I'm back with another beanie tutorial. This one is going to be for the kids, the children, the little small heads. So we're going to use the same weight for acrylic yarn. This is the color Amethyst from Loops and Threads. We're going to need exactly 3 stitch markers. This is very important. You're going to need a yarn needle, and I'm going to use a 4.5 millimeter hook. Let's get started. We're going to start with a slip knot. If you don't know how to do a slip knot, just make a knot, because that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie it again with another knot so that my slip knot doesn't slip around, because I don't like that. Once we do that, we're going to chain 41. Once we have our 41 chains, we're going to kind of roll the chain to the side so we can see that third chain. And this is what we're going to work into. This makes the edge of your hat straighter. So we're going to skip the first chain and we're going to half double crochet into this first third chain loop, whatever you want to call it. We're going to half double crochet. And then we're going to introduce our first stitch marker and we're going to place it into this first stitch. And this also keeps our hat straight because sometimes this last and first stitch gets lost and you don't see it. So moving right along, we're going to place 1 half double crochet into each stitch until you have 6 stitches left. So you're going to half double crochet for 34 stitches. I'm going to complete this and I'll meet you when we have just 6 stitches left. Right down there. Now I've done my 34 half double crochet and I have 6 stitches left. Before I continue, I'm going to introduce our second stitch marker. And this stitch marker is going to let us know that this is our last half double crochet. So we're going to place that in. And now into these last 6 stitches, we're going to place single crochet. And this will make it so that the top part of your hat, especially for a child because they have a smaller head, it doesn't leave that extra fabric and bunch up, and it just looks not neat enough for me. So this helps with that. It makes it more narrow towards the crown of your head. So we're going to complete these 6 single crochet. Okay, this is our last single crochet. And this makes a huge difference as opposed to just doing all half double crochet. So then we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and now from here on, we're going to only work in the back loops. So in these first 6 stitches, in the back loop only, we're going to place your 6 single crochet. And into this first stitch, we're going to place our last stitch marker. And this keeps our hat straight. That line keeps the line straight. So we're going to continue on in the back loop only. This is our second single crochet, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Now we've reached our stitch marker, and this tells us that we have to start half double crochet again. So we're going to remove the stitch marker And now we're going to place half double crochets in the back loop only. Making sure to replace your stitch marker after this first half double crochet so that when we come back, we know when to stop. Just like that. And now we're just going to complete doing half double crochets all the way to the end. And I'll do that, and I will meet you when we are closer to the end. I'm at my last stitch. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, place my last half double crochet, and then just like that, we're going to chain one, turn our work, and we're going to continue this pattern. So in this first stitch, these are half double crochets. So into the back loop only, we're going to place our half double crochet and then replace the stitch marker. Don't forget to replace your stitch markers. These are very important in keeping your hat straight and those lines straight. Now we're going to continue on in each of these 34 stitches with half double crochets in the back loop only. I'm going to continue that, and I'll meet you when we reach closer to our stitch marker. Right there. All right, I have 2 more half double crochet to do. I'm going to remove my stitch marker because this will be our last half double crochet. I'm going to replace that stitch marker so we don't forget. And now we're going to continue on with our remaining 6 stitches where we're going to place single crochet. So this is our second single crochet, our third, our fourth, our fifth, and our sixth single crochet. Just like that. Then we're going to chain one, turn our work, and go back the other way, starting with single crochet. So into this first stitch in the back loop only, we're going to single crochet. We're going to replace that stitch marker, the most important part. And then we're going to continue on doing the single crochet. So this is the second single crochet, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. Now we reached our stitch marker, so that tells us we have to start doing half double crochet. So we're going to remove that stitch marker, place a half double crochet, and then replace the stitch marker. Just like that. And now we can continue on doing our half double crochet till we reach the end. And I will do that and meet you at the end. I continued the pattern and I did 44 rows for my child's head, but you can do it until the piece wraps around the entire size of the head that you're doing. And you're going to make sure to end on the side that's the half double crochet and not the side that's the single crochet. So now we have that. As you can see, the top is where your single crochet are, and it kind of goes more narrow, and then the bottom where your half double crochets are is the part where your head hole is. So I hope that is very visible because it makes a big difference to me. So we're going to continue on, take out that stitch marker, continue and insert our hook where we left off. Now to complete this and close our hat up, we're going to place one chain, and then we're going to fold the hat in half as so, and then working from the left to the right. We're going to be closing this with a single crochet, but in the front loops only. So I'll show you that really quickly. This is the front loop where we're going to work into, and this is the back loop. So we're not going to work in the back loop, we're going to work in the front loop. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook. Insert the hook to the front loop. Grab your back piece and then insert into the front loop as well. Just like you do in a single crochet. Let me make sure you can see the stitch. It's front loop right here. Then we're going to grab the yarn. So we have 2 loops. And then pull the yarn through both loops, and that's a single crochet. And we're going to continue to do that for all of the, how many stitches did we do? We did 40 stitches. So you should have 40 single crochet in the front loop only. Just like this. You can take your time. And this stitch is what I prefer because, and I'll show you at the end what I'm talking about, what kind of seam it makes, and it's unrecognizable. Like, it makes it so seamless, and I will show you that at the end, what it looks like and why I prefer to use the front loops. So we can take out the stitch markers now. We don't need them anymore. And even over the single crochets, we're going to single crochet both sections together using those front loops only. There we go. Now we have our last stitch. We're going to pop that stitch marker out. We do not need it anymore. We're going to complete this last single crochet. Just like that. And complete. This is what it looks like. And we're on the wrong side. We'll flip this inside out to be on the proper side when we're done. I'm going to chain 2 to secure my yarn, pull up a long enough tail, and cut it. And that long tail is what I'm going to use to sew the whole of the top of the head closed. So you're going to pull that knot down, and I want to show you really quick what the seam looks like. It looks just like one of the rows, which I really, really love about this, because when you wear it, you won't be able to tell where you started and where you ended. So it's the perfect closure for this hat. So now that we've done that, we're going to grab our yarn needle, and we're going to close up the hole on the top of the head. And this is where your 6 single crochet were. And you're going to insert your yarn needle through the top of each of the rows, or every other row where the ridge is prominent. That's where you're going to insert your needle. So you're just going to insert and weave through all of these top ridges until you reach back to the beginning where we started. So we're just going to go through the top of each of these sections And you can do more than once at a time. You don't have to do one. And you can pull it a little bit by little bit if you want to. It doesn't really matter because at the end we're going to pull it tight anyway. So we're just going to keep weaving through all of these until we reach back to the beginning. So we're just going to place my last insert. And then I'm going to try to show you as best as possible. You're just going to pull on that tail until you close the circle, kind of like a magic circle or a magic ring. And you're going to keep adjusting it because it will kind of bunch up, but that's okay. You're going to pull it really tight as you can. And then you're going to tie those two pieces together. You're going to tie it tight. And if you see that you still have kind of a little bit of a hole, you're just going to, don't worry about it, you're just going to grab your needle again. And after you tie those two pieces together, we're just going to insert our needles back and forth from the front, from the back, right, left, as many times as we feel, and pull tightly just to secure that hole closed. And you're going to do it as many times as you feel. So see, that one did quite a lot, but I'm still just going to go back through the side and then probably one more time, pulling it as I go. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to tie the strands together one last time. Just like this. And then I will just weave both of those tail ends in when I'm done. And then I will turn my hat the right side way and we are all set. You're going to kind of adjust the top a little bit just to push it to make it properly formed. And then when you're done with that and you like the way that looks, you're going to flip your brim however wide you want the width of it to be, and you're all done. Now you have a comfy, cozy, extremely easy and adorable, cute hat for your child. Let me know if you guys like this video and other video suggestions. Let me know. Bye.